Hey guys, Mal here. I'm not sure if the audio is recording properly. I know the high frequency from working with this system and recording it so much did do something to my phone's camera where it kind of messed it up. But anyway, I figured I'd demonstrate and show a few more things. Basically explain a few things as well. Hopefully clear the air. Um, so we have the super caps here. Runs this 0 to 120 volt DC boost board, and then that gives us fine control over the transmitter. We can lock the voltage, lock the current. I have it set to 80 volts DC when it's on. Um, looks like it's actually set to 60, and I lock the current at 0.20 amps, and that's very important. When you build this type of system, you have to lock the current and stop it from drawing more power. So with the fact we lock the current, it can't draw more power. Um, we have our receiver coil here. This is the incredible range we can get with it. The system seems to draw its extra power from the earth itself, and the fact we put a metal ball on top. So somehow the ball acts as a virtual ground and it sucks in more power. Um, this is my earth ground connection, which just comes off the midpoint in the diodes, and I don't want to get my phone too close to this thing because it's already screwed up. So when I ground the midpoint of those diodes, we become more power efficient. At least we used to. Yeah, there we go. So I have to move the. I was trying to become more power efficient. It all has to do with tuning the receiver coil. Okay, it did become more efficient. So when you get it tuned perfectly, you'll get maximum output at your receiver, and it will become more power efficient. Um, Basically, I wanted to demonstrate the range too of this, and what basically. Oh, let me just connect this. So basically, what I connected to is as you see here, this is my receiver coil. There's nothing in it. The receiver coil is what runs the load. There could be no doubt. I put the ball here, right on top. Acts as a virtual grounder. We'll get the most important thing is to ground this into something. You can ground this back into itself. I ground this into a bunch of plates I wrapped around my super caps. So I just connect that to the plates, act as a virtual ground. We have free power for the taking. The bulb will light. Once I tune the coil even more, we get maximum output. As you see, that is fully bright. We are consuming very little power. So I'm able to light this 5-watt incandescent to full intensity with no power draw on the transmitter. It actually improves. And again, to do this, you have to lock your voltage and you have to lock your current. So the transmitter can't supply more as much current as the receivers need. You want to lock your current. And the supplement power, when you lock your current, the supplement power comes from the earth itself. Um, Tesla's old notes with his magnifying transmitter stated once his system was running and properly earth grounded, the receivers would power themselves, and the Earth's natural electrical system would supply additional power to the system when the phase angle lagged the phase angle of the receiver power properly. And I think that was achieved here somewhat by the fact this is high frequency and at 2 megahertz. Because when I kept constructing this, I would like tweak the design of the extra coil, keep tweaking things until I could get my receiving power the brightest and I ground the load. So that's how that works. Um, and as for the fact, for people who have questions, you can download ChatGPT, an AI research app, and ask if self-sustaining wireless power systems are possible. The answer is absolutely yes. I know I said that in my past videos. I feel like I'm kind of repeating myself. but I just wanted to demonstrate the absolute range I can get. So I'm going to turn the system up a bit. So now I made it so the current's not locked anymore. And as you see, this system is very voltage driven. So 90 volts, current not locked anymore. With the increased voltage, we have much more potential when you get things tuned just right. So the effects come from the way the system is constructed, along with how much voltage is driving it. So we got that bulb extremely bright, um, hardly increased our power draw, and that bulb is just looking like it wants to burst. So again, we'll lock the current. Okay, current locked. Still get the bulb extremely bright. I'm trying to get that in frame, the bright bulb with the power efficiency. And keep in mind, I can extract even more power from the back EMF of the system by incorporating my special full bridge rectifier circuitry with the blocking capacities here that prevent detuning. I could literally add this right here at this output, and I would get maybe 300 milliamps here at 60 volts. Again, no degradation of the system, just a power gain, because that's back EMF. I tried to get back EMF off the primary coil, but I can't seem to do it at this point in time. It detunes the system, because the system is very sensitive to tuning. And again, I'm just doing more experiments here with the system, trying to get the maximum amount of power in this thing. And basically, I just want to show you the incredible range of this thing. I'm going to move this further away. There we go. Look how far we are from it. I'm not sure if this is an efficiency record, but it could be. See, no draw on it at all. 17.11 watts lock. I believe that's what it was in the last video. You get it tuned just right. Nothing, didn't change at all. It actually improves. When you're far enough away, when your receiver is just barely in range of the transmitter, you experience a decoupling effect, and I'm really trying to maximize that. And that decoupling effect allows the receiver to output you significant amounts of power without ever placing an electrical strain on the transmitter. So that's how that works. I'm explaining that. I'm thinking to get this even better, of getting some type of grounded bar that would come up, like kind of like this, and the bar would slide along the length of the coil until you get the perfect spot, and it would just sit there, kind of like on the old crystal radios. It would be like a tuning bar, and one end of the tuning bar is grounded, and the other end just comes up like this, and you can adjust it until boom, you got full brightness. Then you would add another receiver coil, put all the DC outputs in parallel, keep doing it all the way around the transmitter until you have multiple amps of output, and each tuning bar is separately earth grounded. And boom, there's your free energy output. You can charge batteries with it, keep the system self-sustaining. The earth itself is supplying the extra power to the receiver coils. We're just using the transmitter to magnetically energize the windings of the receiver. The earth itself provides the other potential for the power, and boom, you have output, and you have real output without ever affecting your source. So that's how that works. And with that, you can charge huge batteries. You can charge supercaps that then run an inverter to power anything. I have the board taken apart. I have never once recharged it from when I made it. I always reconfigure the system back up again with my receiver coils and a combination of my ground extraction circuitry to have the system recharge itself or recharge a huge battery. And then that huge battery powers an inverter which then would power a DC power supply that recharges the input. So, or I would use a DC to DC boost converter, which is here. I would use the all the combined receiver coil power with the ground extraction circuitry to recharge a battery. Then I'd run a DC to DC boost board from that battery to recharge the input. DC to DC boost board is the most efficient. Um, so that works. Or better yet, you could even recharge a big battery to a full 14 volts, and then just connect that in parallel with your input, and that would equalize. But there's no guarantee that would equalize at 14. It's better to use the DC board because you could really lock it and set it. So that's that. I'm gonna try and keep this video under 15 minutes. I was basically explaining everything. When you use this type of technology, it's very interesting. Earth grounding it in a specific spot will improve its efficiency. I'm going to be building a much bigger transmitter within 2 weeks, and I really mean it this time. I've just been crazy busy with work and taking care of sick family members. I already ordered all the components to build the bigger transmitter. Um, I just don't like to rush into things. I like to get things tuned as best as I can before building the next model. So, the bigger transmitters are coming now. And yeah, I'm going to be switching to a MOSFET to drive the transmitter. Much more efficient. We won't have the voltage drop of the diode. I'm going to have to perfect that. And I'll probably have two models, the MOSFET version and the TIP 35C version. So that should be more efficient. And I also have the... I also started getting in the piping to build the bigger transmitter. So here's the old receivers. This is how much bigger the new transmitter will be.